All right, what's up? Welcome back to Sound on Sports. I don't even know what episode we're on at this point because we've been filming long enough where they're starting to rack up. But fellas, how are we doing? Brody, what's up?
What's going on, guys? Nobody can see, but I am completely soaked through the shirt. I just got home from the gym. If my camera was a bit lower, you guys could see my nipples in broad daylight. But uh,
Nice. Great. Great. We're already engagement farming right there. That's awesome.
took
Yeah, happy to be here. We are officially, the setup is almost complete. We have a microphone so it doesn't sound like I'm a literal freaking long haul trucker. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and we got a lot to cover this episode.
dude. It's like
Kinda-
one. It's like every single episode you got one upgrade. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna do next episode? You upgraded cameras like 3 times. You upgraded mics
The next
twice.
episode, we're just all going to be sitting in a studio. Like, what's going on, guys?
Fatty gets full facial reconstruction surgery for the next episode.
By
Just turns
episode
into
10, we're in
full-on Tom Brady.
the Barstool, whatever, Big Cats podcast. I forget what it's called. We're in that studio by episode 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Perfect.
quite. Do not expect that. I do not see that coming. One thing I do expect is for a hell of a Seahawks game this weekend. That is apparently on Saturday, boys. So let's dive right into it. We know who we're playing. We know our fate. The Niners pulled off the upset against the. Apparently, we should have just known the Eagles suck, but they beat the Eagles. That's who we're playing. Fatty, I'll let you kick it off. What's your initial thoughts, initial reactions? We're playing the Niners on Saturday.
My initial thoughts were we really were a couple possessions away from having a cakewalk to the Super Bowl. It was kind of eye-opening to see the Rams struggle against the Carolina Panthers. We hyped them up, then we shit on them. We woke them up, and the Panthers put up a great fight. But the Niners, yeah, they came in and they handled business. And yeah, I mean, the injury narratives are really, really strong with their team. Losing Kittle for the rest of the season and most of next year is going to be tough, but they handled business against an Eagles team with no real offensive identity. You knew that was going to be an exposure point for them. I was just hoping that we could kind of expose that point, but it's going to be tough. I didn't want to have to face both NFC West teams on the path to the Super Bowl. It's kind of looking like that. I know the Bears and the Rams will put up a good game, but yeah, I mean, the Niners, we played them last week. Recency bias shows that we're the favorites. Excuse me. Being at home and having the week off was huge. I think we'll see Charles Cross back. Rashid Shaheed should be fully healthy, and everyone should be back at it. So I'm excited to see what a fully healthy, fully rested Seahawks offense can do. I just hope they don't start off stagnant because we can't afford to start this game like we did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like, to be honest, it's quite nice to see the 49ers. I guess in terms of just our team's obviously coming off a bye, they just beat the 49ers. You know, it's easy to be like, yeah, we just beat the shit out of them. And then you kind of let your guard down a bit. And then you see, even against a great defense, the Niners still be able to show up and put up points. Niners, they want to be like, they're fine being underdogs. They want people to doubt them. And, I'm glad that the Seahawks team, seeing what they did to the Eagles, they got to be like, okay, we can't just assume we're going to steamroll these guys. We got to be ready, got to be prepared, and put the foot on the gas against them. I mean, other than that, I really don't see it going any different compared to last time. Maybe they score more points. You lose George Kittle completely. It's going to all really have to go through Christian McCaffrey. You're not going to run on us. McCaffrey's not a good runner. We've established this. We saw it against us. We saw it against the Eagles. We've seen it all season. Not a good runner. So it's going to have to be McCaffrey through the air. McDonald's going to game plan against that, I think, quite easily. The receivers are okay. Maybe they get Ricky Pearsall back, and that changes everything. But ultimately, I think it's another story of them not going to be able to move the ball. They're not going to be able to move the ball as much as they, did against the Eagles, against the Bears, and many other teams. I feel like it's another comfortable Seahawks win, to be honest with you. That's
I
where
don't
I'm
know
at.
if
I
I'm
don't
as
want to be
comfortable
overconfident.
as you feel.
I don't want to be overconfident, but
Right.
I think the boys are going to be prepared. I think the boys will get it done.
I
that's
think
what I'm
Trent
saying.
Williams being back is pretty big for the Niners. That he wasn't there when he played us, where Purdy looked completely uncomfortable the whole time he played us, and he still will look uncomfortable for large stretches because our defense is that good. But throwing a guy like Trent Williams back instead of the no-name guy they had protecting Purdy last time is a complete
Right.
game changer, and you could see it. You could see it in the Eagles game. I mean, as crazy it is, Trent Williams is that good where the offense really does flip a switch. Which I mean, same thing for the Eagles, right? I mean, no Lane Johnson was huge. That was used their record with and without him. It's a complete game changer. It's something kind of overlooked. And I think that'll make this game a little bit tighter than even the sports books are saying. The first lines as we're filming this, Hawks are 7-point favorites, which
Yeah.
I think if you took the logos out of it and you put the records, put the teams, okay, I could understand as being 7-point favorites, but rivalry game in the playoffs we just played, 7 points seems like a pretty big line that kind of scares me as like a not a letdown, but kind of like a almost like how the Eagles felt in this game. If you listen to Eagles fans going into this Niners game, they were so like overly comfortable and confident, and it scares me that the Seahawks could get that vibe. I still think we're going to win. I'm confident, but I don't know if it's as much of a cakewalk as it's being made out to be as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, yeah, that I'm not a betting man, especially with the Seahawks. But yeah, a 7.5 point line does raise a couple eyebrows. And you just got to look back at the fact that, yeah, 2 weeks ago, this game was very close, 13-3. But in reality, you know, we revisited it and it should have been 26, maybe to 10, just based off some decisions. And that's all what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to how the Seahawks offense as a whole, including Clint Kubiak, Sam Darnold, the running game, the receivers, who's going to step up? Are we going to see another explosive outing from JSN? Are we going to see a competent Sam Darnold in the pocket? Are we going to see a resurgence from K9? You know, it's just going to be, we're going to have to be firing on all cylinders, and it's going to be for the entire game. We got 2 more games until the Super Bowl, so we need to start playing like the best team in the NFC. I'm fully confident. I do think Trent Williams is going to be a huge addition for the Niners, but I do think they're road dogs. It took a lot for them to beat Philly in that kind of defensive shootout, if you will. So I think we're going to see some fatigue. No Kittle's gonna hurt them, but I think that Seattle walks away probably 24-14.
Yeah, I think if both teams, let's say both teams are firing on all cylinders, I think the Seahawks easily win. It's really going to come down to, like you said, Fatty, it's going to come down to Sam. Can Sam be a game manager? Can he do what he did last game? Yes, he missed a couple throws, one for a touchdown, of course. We remember that. But if Sam can play perfect just 95% of the time, but not turn the ball over, and by perfect, I don't mean like you got to make you don't have to be like Caleb Williams, sidearm, 40-yard bunt. Like just make the right reads.
You could, though. That'd be cool if he did that. I'd appreciate that.
That would be nice, but they were also playing from behind, and hopefully we don't have to do that. But I think if this team fires on all cylinders, it's a comfortable win. Am I 100% confident we'll fire on all cylinders? I wouldn't say so, because I think the Seahawks are one of the most turnover-prone teams in the NFL. Unfortunately,
I don't even think you have to say I think so. I think we're
coming off a bye, though.
We are coming off a bye, and that's going to be nice. And we just played them, and I think we were turnover free in that game.
We were.
Weren't we?
I mean,
Yeah.
If you want to count the Sam Darnold fumble into Charbonnet's chest and then a recovery, but that was,
Yeah,
textbook.
I just think if both teams fire on all cylinders, the Seahawks are going to overpower the Niners, and I think we win comfortably. I'm not saying they can't win. It would just have to take a lot to go right for them. They'd have to completely make the Seahawks defense look silly. Sam Darnold would have to have a pretty much full-on meltdown for them to win this game.
Knock on wood right now. Knock on wood right now.
Woody's not here.
I knocked on wood. But yeah, I think, and it's honestly, I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but to play a game like this, the 49ers are going to hold us accountable, and it's almost better to play someone who's going to give you a good matchup you're not going to want to play the Packers or the Panthers, someone that you could easily steamroll. And, you put the ball cap on and the T-shirt on in the third quarter. We're going to have to fight until the very, very end, and then we will be ready for the winner of, the Bears and Rams. And I think the winner of that game is going to be just as ready to compete for the NFC title. So I do think the Seahawks, kind of shifting toward, some other sports here, but I just really think that the Seahawks got a good matchup. Unfortunately, it's one in the division, but I think it holds them accountable. They're going to handle business, and I'm a lot more confident in them than I was 2 weeks ago. And it's just great to be at home. It's great to be healthy, and all great things. I'm very, very, very confident that we'll get the job done. Whether it's 3 points or 24 points, we're going to get this win.
I do think, for me, I think that this game's going to come down to, I think the Seahawks need to make that one big play. I think that's going to be the decider in this one, where I really think we'll have to have that one moment that we look back on, that's the point where we flip the script. Because it would scare me if we have a similar start to the last game where we were dominating the game, but like I said, at halftime, me personally, I was like, dude, if the Niners come out at the start of the second half, it could have been a completely different game. We just need to have that one guy, whether it be hopefully a JSN or a K9 or a Sharp.
How about a Jason Myers, man? How about a Jason Myers? Make your damn kicks, brother.
Hey, we said this last time. You got all the bad kicks out, locked in for the playoffs. You don't waste a home run swing on something stupid like practice, Coach Kent Murphy. You know what I mean? Locked and loaded, and we're set for the playoffs. He's going to be automatic. Knock on wood. A lot of wood knocking today, boys.
Yeah, I'll knock wood. He sucks.
Well, anything else you guys want to say on this game? I mean, it's kind of hard to preview a game that we just previewed a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
I will say, Niners, of the teams left, is this the one you'd want to face the most right now? If you could choose between playing the Bears, Rams, or Niners this week, who would you want to play?
For sure. For sure. I don't remember who it was that hyped up the Bears our last episode, but they were right. They fucking kicked ass, and they came back from 21-0. But the thing about the Bears for me is that they just put up points, and they put them up quick. I think they've played enough NFL caliber defenses to make them feel like a threat. They have so many different playmakers. They have a two-dimensional run game. They have all these guys in the skill positions with Luther Burden and Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. It's just Caleb Williams is stepping into his upper echelon as a QB. They have a great offensive line. So yeah, it's like if we play the Bears, it'd be a shootout. And
I
if
think
we play
that could be scary.
Yeah, and if we play the Rams, it's honestly a flip of a coin. Is it going to be a 17-13 game, or is it going to be a 40-45 game? So yeah, I mean, I
you want to know the way my dumb little brain works, that when I was working out at the gym today and I was just thinking through everything. So Matt Stafford, injured finger, his index finger on his throwing hand, apparently pretty messed up, but the results came back negative. My stupid little brain was like, I kind of wish we were playing the Rams this week just to place injured Stafford instead of somehow if we end up playing him next week.
Yeah, I mean the thing about it is I hate playing the who would you rather face, because it's so illegitimate, because I don't, as much as I would love a cakewalk, I kind of like the grind. I was not going to root for the Niners, in a playoff game to avoid facing people. So I was hate watching the Rams. I was hate watching the Niners. I didn't really watch the Niners game. I honestly thought the Eagles would have handled business the way that they were looking 2 weeks ago. And I just turned the game on and I'm like, well, shit. I did not want to have to play them both. But yeah, I hate, for myself picking who would I rather face. Cause if it was up to me, it'd be like Titans, Browns, and then we're in the Super Bowl. But, I want that story. And I also want our damn respect. If we're going to get our respect in the league, we need to start, really dominating teams and on a national stage. I mean, apparently 2 nationally televised games, and we're still not picked to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, wait, time out. We got to acknowledge this. How are we not Sunday Night Football? How is Seahawks Niners not Sunday night? Why are we playing on Saturday?
Get it out of the way.
Why are we playing on Saturday?
Tomorrow.
That is one other thing about my dumb brain. I've been thinking about the game so much, and then there's probably been 4 times today where I've been like, it's Monday.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
I still have like days till I can really start getting excited to watch this game.
Yeah,
But
I
it should
know.
be a day later. The fact that we are on Saturday and I don't like okay, there's good teams playing in the other games, but like we just made a TikTok talking about our favorite rivalries and spoiler alert, Niners Seahawks was easily in there. Like
Yeah.
what?
I don't know. I think Bills Broncos commands a little bit more appeal. I just think that we had our day in the sun 2 weeks ago. They weren't gonna put us back in. We literally were just Saturday Night Football.
But it's
They weren't
the
gonna do it
NFC West,
again.
dude. Come on.
They're gonna put us. I can't predict.
I'm not like a big. Oh, if we don't play, if we should be in prime. I'm not really that big of like a we should be in prime time guy.
This is me being selfish because I have plans on Saturday night, and now I had to alter my plans on Saturday night to watch the game.
Yeah. By the way, one
Because
of my
no way
friends
we're the early game on Saturday.
One of my friends
We're the
goes,
early
"Hey, what
game.
day?" Yeah,
We are for sure.
No, are you sure? I thought we were at 5.
I don't think the times are out,
TBD, but
boys.
I swear, I thought that the Bills and the Broncos were the night game.
Let's see.
This is such good podcasting. Great research here by
This
the
is
fellas.
great research.
To be determined.
Yeah,
Someone
because
goes,
this
it'll either
game
be at
this-
1:30 or 5. Cool.
Put us at 1:30 and let's get it out of the fucking way, please.
I had a
Dude,
friend go.
crazy.
I had a friend go. Hey, what day's the Seahawks game? And we're like, Saturday. Goes. I got dinner. I'm like, dude, really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Really?
you want to hear the
Are you
commitment
kidding
my family has? It is my dad's birthday this weekend, and my mom goes, "You don't have to go on Saturday night if you don't want to." And I was like,
me?
"That's awesome."
Everyone pull up to Jay Ross's dad's birthday at Hop and Drops, Snohomish, Washington. We are watching the NFC Divisional Championship. It's a live
will
stream
be there.
podcast.
Yes.
But okay.
Yeah, all 3 of us will be there. But I wanted to say one more thing before we move on, just to talk
Okay.
about like who would we have rather faced? The Niners and the Bears. You can flip a coin, to be honest with you. I mean, their game was basically decided by that. I mean, it's really the Rams. The Rams, I know as much as they can be in hell games with the Panthers, like it is the Rams. The Rams are the team circled, and you're like, fuck, not those guys, not those guys. I will say I feel a bit better watching them struggle against Carolina again, but still, it's the Rams. The only thing with the Bears, I think, like, as much as Caleb is incredibly talented, and Caleb is definitely ascending, and he will, in my opinion, be an elite quarterback, you can't fall behind 15, 20 points to the Seahawks. You're not going to come back like you did against the Packers. You're not. You can't do that. And I don't think he's – if they fall that far into a hole, yes, they got talent to throw to, compared to the Niners right now, DJ Moore, Ramadunze, Luther Burden, Colson Loveland. But if you fall behind like that, you're not going to come back. You're not going to come back. And last thing I want to say, Robert Saleh, if you are watching this, please put Diamador Lenore on JSN full game man coverage. I'm begging, dude. Did you guys watch? You guys can do this and no, don't jinx it. Did you watch Diamador Lenore against AJ Brown? It was disgusting. He got killed every single friggin' snap. And
AJ Brown
did
to the
drop
Seahawks
pass.
next year. Who says no?
Probably AJ Brown.
AJ Brown probably just retires because he's like,
Yeah, he wants,
the ball.
I'm not getting the
he doesn't
ball.
want to play
Fine.
football.
I retire.
He wants to read
I
his
want to
book.
read this book.
Good.
I don't want to play football.
The
It's
cat.
not
in
my
the
dream, Dad. It's your dream.
hat. Good
So
stuff.
please, Salah, please let that happen. I want to see Jason go for $150. I would love to see that. Oh my gosh. It ain't
Well,
happening.
I think that's pretty well covered for this game. Obviously, we're excited for it. I think it's time to shift over to arguably an even hotter team in Seattle right now. Not actually, but
Absolutely.
Fatty, the Kraken are on an absolute heater. We are filming this 20 minutes after that Rangers game. Kraken down 2-0, come back, win 4-2 at Madison Square Garden, bounce back from their first loss in forever. Fatty, how are you feeling about the Kraken?
Dude, it's what a time to be alive for the Kraken. It's honestly such a roller coaster ride this season. I mean, if you think about it, covering the losing streak, we're never winning again. And then we rattle off 4 wins in a row, lose, then rattle off another 4 wins in a row. And that loss in between was in shootouts, if I'm correct, against Vancouver 3-2, or it was in overtime. But
Shootout.
the Kraken, have been, absolutely on fire. Snapshot right now, as of right now, we are 4 points back from leading the Pacific and just 1 point back of Edmonton for second in the Pacific. We're kind of cementing ourselves into that playoff spot. And really, for me, as much as the offense has been really, really consistent, what's different for me, or from my perspective, is that the defense is really tightening up. I mean, if you think about it, Montour, he's going to start coming back and ramping up practice. But these wins, I mean, you take a look. These are 4-2, 3-1, 3-2, 4-1. I mean, the defense has been the lifeline of this team, and the offense has been consistent. And you're going to get some huge players back. We just got Schwartz back, and then you're going to get Montour. So, I mean, the Kraken, statistics show that they're not really that good of a team on offense, still kind of low on that margin, but they're finding ways to win games, and more importantly, win games on the road, which would make them a tough playoff matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail right in the head. The Kraken right now, you look last 10 games, and make sure to preface this. This is all situations, no more just 5-on-5. Goals scored, we're right in the middle of the pack the last 10 games. 12th in the league, which is like, okay, whatever. But what sets the Kraken apart is, we talked about it last episode. Yes, our defense is way tighter. We're giving up less high danger chances, but the high danger chances we give up, Joey Decord, but honestly, right now, Philip Grubauer is absolutely cooking. Philip Grubauer is back to how he was in that postseason run we had a few years ago. You touched on it a bit. Kraken 7-1-2 in our last 10 games, but over these 10 games, we are second in the NHL in goals against, only behind the Avalanche. So it doesn't really count because the Avalanche are basically a league above the NHL. If there was promotion relegation, they'd somehow get promoted to, I don't know, the Super League. But what's crazy is our expected goal against over that stretch is 33. Over a 10-game stretch, we have trimmed off 12 goals. Our expected goal differential over the last 10 games, -2. Our actual goal differential over these last 10 games, +14. That is obscure, which is kind of scary and unrealistic. But Joey Decord has somehow, we have a true tandem. Grubauer and Decord are just two elite goaltenders. And to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of when we signed Grubauer originally, because his whole career, he made a living off playing behind a wagon of a defense when he was in Washington, where he actually got benched. And then when he was on the Avs, he was behind the best defensive core in the league. And then he came here, and it kind of showed his cracks in his game because, shocker, but the expansion Seattle Kraken were not quite on par with the Stanley Cup contenders of the Avalanche and the Capitals.
Right.
But he's now living up to that name. And as of right now, he is playing up to his cap. The number that before the season, everyone was talking about, oh, will the Kraken cut ties with Gruby? Will we just eat his contract? He was playing for Coachella at one point last year. Like, the Kraken were doing anything they could to not have this guy play. And all of a sudden, he is the reason, combined with Joey, but I think Gruby has been the better of the two. He is the reason why we are talking about leading our division. We have the second lowest team goals against average over that last 10 games. And on top of that, we lead the league in saves above expected saves. Like, our goaltending has been insanely good. And I don't even know how to keep talking about it. But another part of it is the fact that I said in multiple episodes, Lane Lambert has a style of play. It's boring. It's not fun to watch. And that's how we're playing right now. And that's how we're winning games. We play a playoff style type of hockey. We have the second least penalty minutes over these last 10 games. We're averaging 4 penalty minutes against per game. We're also not drawing very many penalties, but we have discipline. We're trying to limit the goal scoring chances. We're getting the timely saves, and we're staying out of the penalty box. That is a recipe to win games in the NHL. And like you said, getting points on the road. That's how you get in the dance. Do I think the Kraken are a legitimate Stanley Cup contender? I'm not a betting man, but maybe I had to put a dumb future on it a couple weeks ago. There's no proof to say if that happened or not. But needless to say, that dumb future might actually seem more logical now. But
well, yeah, and I think it just goes to show, too. I mean, you're looking at two different 4-game win streaks in the span of in between a couple losses. But really stringing a lot of great wins together. If I had to identify, where it was just true dominance is our home game against Nashville, 4-1. Just absolutely belt to ass. Then we go up to Vancouver and handle business 4-3. Then come back, or then go to Calgary, 5-1 domination, and then win a barn burner against the Bruins 7-4. So it just really shows that Seattle is definitely punching above their weight. I wouldn't be surprised to put them in the playoffs. Obviously, with the trade deadline approaching, it's been a huge podcast narrative for us. So it's going to be interesting to see if they want to subtly add, do they want to swing for the fences, or do they want to kind of stay pat with what they got? But honestly, just get healthy. Have this whole team out there with some serious depth. But yeah, I mean, the Kraken, hold on, guys, buckle up, because it's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I do think after that long talk about goaltending, the problem is the reality of that happening over a 40-game stretch through the playoffs, as keeping these insane numbers, completely defying all expected goals, everything, not the highest likelihood. But I will say there is a legit likelihood that our goaltenders stay as some of the better goaltenders in the NHL. And with the way we play, we are one or two pieces away at the deadline, get a few goal scorers on this team, to being a legit scary out in the playoffs. And who knows? I mean, in the first round, it's hard because we will probably play Vegas or Edmonton. But if we knock one of those teams out, who's to say we can't go on a little bit of a run? You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking way far in the future right now. But if the Kraken play like this come playoff time, I mean, we've seen goaltenders take over a Stanley Cup playoff run before. We've seen our guy on our roster, Matt Murray, do that. And that's how the Penguins started to go on their little dynasty run. We saw Jordan Binnington take the Blues to a Stanley Cup championship. Like, goaltending is so huge in the NHL, and the Kraken are suddenly blessed to have two of them, which is kind of becoming the way of the NHL. I just think that for the first time in a couple years, I'm having so much fun as a Kraken fan. And another thing we got to acknowledge is the big names for the Kraken, outside of Montour, he's been hurt, have been playing like big names. I read a comment section. It was fans from, I don't know what team. They go, wait, is Capo Kakko actually good now? We saw Shane Wright pop up on the scoring sheet tonight. Matty Beniers, I'm going to talk about him later. He deserves his own segment, so we're going to go fast forward to that one. The start of this streak, Ellie Tolvanen went on a little point streak. Like, all of our names that, okay, outside of the Seattle market, you might not think of these as big names, but true Kraken fans know these are the guys that have to chip in if we want to get anywhere as a team. All of those names are chipping in. It's sad to see Chandler Stevenson be, not active for a little bit. We'll have to see what the whole story is about that. Hopefully everything's okay. Nothing too bad going on there. But Schwartz is coming back off of IR. So we're starting to get these names back in big quantities. And so, I don't know, I'm having so much fun as a Kraken fan right now. And there were a couple episodes at the start of this run where I was not having fun as a Kraken fan. I was wanting to get picked up.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. I'm glad to see the Kraken are trending up and kind of leveling out to some consistency. I mean, they are still losing games. They're not, they're not perfect, but at least the trend is heading toward.
Can we say one more thing too? Success. One more thing too before we move on. Thank everything that we are based in Seattle, thus puts us in the Pacific Division. Because if we were in any other division in hockey, that happy rant I just went on would have a completely different tone. But luckily, we are in Seattle. We are in the Pacific Northwest. Thus, our second biggest fear is the San Jose Sharks, who might have the Hart Trophy winner, Macklin Celebrini, but who knows?
Correct.
You want to know what I think?
Sure.
I think I'm never going to watch a Kraken game again.
That's you're banned. You're banned.
Yeah, it's just a random, Tuesday, Wednesday night. I get home from the gym, as you do. I walk in on the big TV. I see the Kraken just started overtime. And I think to myself, you know what? I'm going to be a good podcast host. I'm going to watch one of the teams that we cover instead of, maybe I have a thought instead of sitting here and being silent the whole time. I even opened my phone and texted the boys, hey, You won't guess who's watching the Kraken right now. This guy. And then I look up from my phone and the game's over. And the
Instantly
Wild had
scored
scored
on.
the overtime winner right after I click send. So I don't think I'm watching the Kraken again.
I swear you sent that
No.
after the game was over too. So I don't know if you were like on a delay because
I
I saw
must have been
Kraken
behind then
lose.
because as soon as I sent it, I look up, they score and it's over.
He's like, dude, I'm so happy. I cannot believe he won that. He's watching Game 7 against the Avalanche like 3 years ago in the playoffs.
Dude,
Let's go.
Are you guys why are you guys freaking out right now, dude? Are you guys
Dude.
watching what's happening?
What a goal, Bjorkstrand. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
you won't believe who just got a team. The Seattle Kraken. Welcome to the NHL.
Electric. Well, I think it's time to bounce around. We can go to another situation. We change the color scheme up. We'll move over to the purple and gold to our college football expert.
Oh boy. Oh,
Good.
Low Fatty.
stuff.
What is going on? What is
Yeah,
going on?
I'm really glad that we waited to cover this because I know we wanted to jump on it when news first struck. But yeah, I'm glad we're kind of seeing the start to
Oh
finish.
wait, real quick. Oh, we got a request for someone to join. Jacob Woodward? What is that guy? I'll just block that. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so no, like I said, I'm really glad that we let this play out so we can kind of have a good timeline of things going on. But for those who don't know, Damon Williams, the quarterback of the Washington Huskies the past year and I guess a half, re-signed, which I hate that term in college, re-signed with the Huskies for running it back next year with Coach Jed Fish. All looked well. And then 2 days later, he surprisingly announced that he was in the portal, which legally was a little bit of an issue because he did sign a contract. And you know, as we're progressing in the new NIL era in college, you know, people could say they're committed and then hop in the portal and they're facing no repercussions. But now we're seeing a little bit more structure in the college football world. So when you're re-signing with the team, you're actually signing a professional contract that is committing you to a year. Hence why Bryce Underwood, the quarterback at Michigan, he can't leave. He signed a 3-year deal. He can't hop in the portal. So, and it's important. I mean, we have to hold the players accountable as much as we hold the coaches accountable. We're all in hell in a handbasket about Lane Kiffin, but players can leave at will, and it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I have to mention too, he had a no contact tag on him in the portal. He just magically went in the portal, but
for sure
knew where he was going after signing a contract. Like, he didn't just go in the portal and say, okay, offer me up, boys. He knew what he was doing. Like, something's going on.
Yeah, so there was an instance of tampering. It was rumored to be Lane Kiffin at LSU. But, you know, either way, long story short, he ends up committing back to the Huskies after 3 days of utter scrutiny. We had Husky fans literally burning his jersey. And it was just like, people need to realize that he signed an agreement, so he has to perform. You know, there has to be compensation and performance in a contract. That is just the basic principles of contract law. So he was going to play for the Huskies no matter what. It was either that or sit out a year. So I just think the whole situation is kind of crazy. I was eager to see how it played out because I thought it could set a really big precedent. And lastly on this situation, it just goes to show that when you're a college athlete, you range from 18 to 24 years old. Right now, the NCAA has no regulations on who can be your agent. And I mean, he didn't consult anybody at his agency. He was, getting friends, family, whatever, telling him that he could do this, to the point where his agency, who's also Jed Fish's agent, dropped him. And it's just, we're making just brain dead decisions. I just think that it's a tough demographic to be educated on this kind of stuff. You're playing college football, you're training, you're trying to be the best, you're trying to win a national championship, you're trying to make money for your family, but at the same time, you have no financial literacy, you don't know what you're signing on the paper because you have your freaking uncle looking at it frontwards and backwards and telling you it's a good deal. So we're seeing this a bunch with a bunch of different people and players around the country, different programs, but this was an interesting case and I'm glad it's resolved.
Yeah, it was such a mess. It was like, it was and if it would have gone to court, it would have been really interesting to see what would have happened there, because it seems like every case before this, they always side with the student athlete. But it's like, if Williams would have got out of this contract and made his way to LSU,
all hell
the
would break
NCAA,
loose.
it would have been, the NCAA would have been, they would have lost all reputation. Huskies would have been a laughing stock. It would have been the biggest lose-lose. Like, this whole situation was a mess. And like you said, it was all decided over some crazy uncle at the Thanksgiving dinner table saying, "Hey, you go get some of my money from Lane Kiffin."
Right.
And it blows my mind. Like, how is this not just like, this is so clear tampering. And I feel like that part of the story is just kind of being overlooked by the fact that, like, how do you go into the portal with a no contact tag and then have rumors going out that you were offered this money from LSU,
Right.
and there be no backlash? Like,
I mean, tampering's normalized in college sports, college basketball, college football. It's completely normalized. There's really no enforcement about it. I honestly, as much as I want to see it as an issue, I'd rather see the NCAA really outline a transfer window, limits to transferring, get that stuff out of the way. Those are going to be huge hurdles. And then we can talk about what is tampering, what's going to be punishable for tampering, what are the punishments going to be? But yeah, this was going to be huge. And, J-Ross, I agree with you. A lot of the times when stuff goes to court, they've sided with the student athlete. But if this went to court and the Huskies were exhausting all legal remedies to enforce this contract, there was no way that DeMond Williams was ever going to win this case, hence why he's in the purple and gold next year.
It'll be interesting to see the fan base's reaction when
that's exactly what I was gonna say, dude. I'm so interested in the whole like football aspect of this. Like, you literally, first of all, you can't bench him. You're paying him whatever millions of dollars, right? So he's the guy. So he's the guy. You're not paying him to be benched. I'm just so interested to see, like, I mean, everyone at UW fucking hates him. Like, all the fans, every fan I've seen hates him. His teammates are probably pissed.
I wonder if the teammate, like, what it's like in the locker room. I wonder how much of it is like, dude, you tried to leave us, or like, bro, you got offered more money.
No,
like,
they're pissed.
Locker room chemistry at an all-time low.
Dude, when players leave teams like that, at least from what I've seen in college football, like, the teammates get so fucking pissed. I mean, look, the biggest example, you have the freaking whole Jaden Daniels thing. They're like, dude, this is not even good anyways, dude. And guys like taking a video. It's probably just, it's chaos, and it's going to be interesting to see how DeMond handles it, dude, because basically his whole world is this Huskies team, this college football stuff, and everyone in this world hates him. So it's like the fans hate him, the teammates hate him, his coach's wife hates him.
You know what I'll say though? Hey, if they go on a Cinderella run and have a crazy year, I bet the fans will forgive him. So
yeah, and he just casually made an Instagram post like, "I'm so excited to be here." Okay, dude. Comments off. I'm so excited to be here. Never a doubt. All right, dude.
Was never
lots of careful thoughts and praying as you screw over a team and an entire city. But after some consideration and deep thought, yeah, okay. Okay, buddy.
After potentially hearing I might have to go to court, I've decided.
And for that, let's root for DeMond Williams to lose the Apple Cup. Yeah, let's do it.
I disagree, but okay.
Actually, he still has to get in the day.
Yeah.
I actually had a friend repost on a story the DeMond Williams like recommit. I'm like, okay, dude. Just
yes.
That's like the first post he's seen. He saw nothing before. He's like, "Oh, dude, DeMond's back.
He's coming. Let's go. Welcome back, pal. We love you."
Yeah, but just to wrap it up, I'm so interested to see how will you respond, DeMond? Everybody hates you. Your own family might hate you at this point. How will you respond? Let's see it.
Let's see. All right.
Well, let's move to the soccer field. We haven't talked about the Sounders in a while. We haven't talked about them that much. Brody,
Good.
Let's bring. That the craziest part about that is coming from the guy with the background purely Sounders, and not the guy who has watched single-digit Sounders games this past season. But Brody, as we're filming this today, first day of preseason, the players are back at the newer training facility, I guess. Supposedly, it went pretty good. Dotson had a pretty good interview saying he's excited to be here. Ryan Saylor's hurt his knee, so our backup center back is injured, but no, won't change much. It was cool to see Kim Kee back, some of the videos and stuff, but first game or first session of the year, so not too much actual, soccer side being reported. But since we last filmed, the Sounders have made a massive signing, like world-altering signing.
Massive?
The Sounders have signed on loan from Charlotte FC 22-year-old Nikola Pekovic. He is a Serbian center midfielder who played 99 minutes in the MLS last year.
Wow.
I will let you choose your own adventure, Brody. What's your thoughts on this world-altering signing?
Yeah, I mean, when you sign a guy like that, I mean, he's a three-time MVP, NBA champion. I mean, it's just a great player to have to your roster. Now this guy, I mean, he was signed for $3 million by Charlotte as a U22 player. It's just another move, J. Ross. It just goes in the bucket of literally almost every other move we've made, where it's like, it's nice. It's not a game-changing move. It's nice. It's okay. It's a low risk, potentially high reward. To be honest with you, I haven't seen much of him play. I haven't seen his play at all, to be honest. And I maybe I'm a bad Sounders fan. I couldn't care to even look up his highlights. I'm just kind of like, this guy's
he's played 99 minutes last year in the MLS, dude. Like,
yeah, what highlights?
You could have watched his highlight tape of last year, and it wouldn't have been long enough to qualify as a TikTok. No offense, dude. I hope you are great, but
his highlights are just like the substitution board coming up, and then him coming on the 88th minute. That's it.
The year before he played a little bit more, but it's like this is one of those. This is, I guess, to be fair, we have been calling for them to take a shot, and maybe they see something we don't, because this guy does have a cap for the Serbian full national team. We are not going to mention the fact that it happened to be when they played the U.S. in the U.S. and it was just convenient to have him play. We will not acknowledge that part of it. But he has a cap
the U.S.
for
D team and probably their own D team.
Don't mention. We don't care about the details, Brody.
Sorry.
We're just talking about. We're just looking at stats right now, dude. Don't
so we got
ruin
a
it.
European international joining our team. That's exciting.
Exactly. And so there is a buy option. So I'm honestly, this is, like you said, I'm okay with the move. I'm not crazy hyped, but we have also set ourselves up where it's like, if he ends up being a world beater, if somehow Obed walks, somehow we get a bag for him. It's another midfielder who has some upside. And it's not like we're signing this guy from Charlotte and saying, all right, dude, you're going to be our starting in that double pivot. He has no pressure to perform. Like, as of right now, in the position he will be sliding into, we have Christian Roldan, arguably one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the league. Obed, one of, if not the most exciting young midfielder in the league. Now we have a guy like Hassani Dotson ahead of him, who is a certified MLS vet. Everyone knows what you're going to get from him. And then we already have young guys that Sounders fans are excited about, a guy like Schneider Brunel. So Pekovic could be in a good spot where he doesn't really. There's not going to be many fans who game week 3 are like, this guy needs to play. Like, it's one of those. It's one of those loan. I mean, it's a loan signing. If he does good, this will be masterclass. If he doesn't do good, I don't really care, because the MLS Super Draft is what we gave up for him right now, and
a 3rd round pick. That's Hal Uteritz right there. We just gave up.
Yeah.
Like, they're just giving up dudes that are going to play for Renault in 2 seasons. So I mean, it's like a low risk, maybe somewhat high reward. I mean, obviously $3 million fee, like I said, to get to Charlotte. So clearly there was some reason for them to do that. I mean, clearly hasn't panned out for them, obviously, but it's just another low risk, somewhat high reward. At least about this one, it's like we didn't really sink GAM. We didn't sink a transfer fee, like you did for Ariola and Ferreira. So at least it's like, we can just cut ties with him at the end of the year if things don't go well. It's hard to be excited, because it's the same team, but this guy might play 5 minutes every other game.
Yeah.
It's just not really what you're looking for, and like we've said on the show many times, you do like role players. You build championship teams having great role players, but it's like
We need
a
a
team
guy.
full of role players is not going to win the championship.
We
It's
need a
not gonna
guy.
happen.
And the
It's
Sounders
Need a guy,
were
and to be honest with you, just like I don't really want to talk about this dude more than we have to. I've just been thinking about this. I think this Sounders offseason, like this next one after this next season, that to me is really like that's like if nothing happens there, it is truly like over. We got a DP spot potentially, I think two, but I know we have one potentially.
that really is
potentially
like
bring
that
up.
is the changing of the guard, and that's like
That one.
that.
You'll have a free DP spot up. That by that point you would have either sold Obed Vargas or tried just to have a prayer to renew him back in a U22 and sell him, which is not going to happen. But that's really what I'm thinking. If this offseason, this next offseason, nothing changes, it really just might be over. Like we might actually just become poverty. Honestly, I think that's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
It's
right
crazy to me that you can loan within the MLS. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
now. Yeah.
That's like us. That's like the Seahawks loaning Christian
I was
Haynes
gonna
to
say.
like the Dolphins, and he becomes an All-Pro guard, and we're like, what? Hey!
I
But
was about to say too,
on the
like a primarily pretty much only American sports fan. They're like, so you're telling me if this was like if NFL was like soccer, we could get Patrick Mahomes on loan for the playoffs. Yes.
Well, I understand that players on loan go
Basically.
on loan to get more playing time. I do know that.
which
okay? I'm not
that is
that
one
much-
funny. That is the funniest part. Which Fatty, as the no offense least soccer fan in this chat, that is a good point you brought up there. Where it's like I don't really understand this for Pekovic because you didn't play at Charlotte,
You're not
and
gonna play here.
so let's like I'm gonna go on loan to a team that has two best 11 caliber players in my same position, and then also signed a legit player in my same position to a coach that is provenly not liking to change the guy that he likes. Yeah, I like
The
it.
only
Get me there.
the only reason that you could grab onto is we'll play in more tournaments. That's it. And then again, Brian still doesn't really like to rotate the squad that much for tournaments. So it's weird. It's just like who cares? It's like in fantasy football when you see like a kicker traded for a defense, you're like,
Yeah.
whatever. I guess, guys, whatever. Who cares? That's
Good
kind of how I
job.
feel.
I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day. Actually, no, let's bring it up. Sounders were linked to Steven Berghuis for like 15 minutes, maybe. And the comments online actually surprised me because I was kind of waiting for Sounders fans to be like, yes, I've heard of him on FIFA. Like he had an 82 overall card. Like we got a star.
He's a 79 on the last FIFA.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
but honestly, all the comments were like,
He's
Sounders
lost.
signed too many wingers. Sounders should be sponsored by Wingstop. And I was like seeing all these. I was like,
Damn.
kind of fair. And so, I
Sounders
mean,
sign dudes that have a long injury history yet again.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess transition to this. There's been no linkage. All I've seen is some graphics made by accounts that had no followers, no credibility, and no history of reporting. Chucky Lozano is apparently gone. Would you take Chucky?
I mean, if we could somehow put him in this roster, yes. But if you're telling me we have to, cut somebody, pay for their contract, then bring in a dude who will potentially leave the team after a year because of his ego, I wouldn't want to do that. And I know people would actually want that. I know a few people that would be like, yeah, but he's techie and cool. But I don't. It's gonna cost us millions of fucking dollars because he's gonna want to leave after the next season after we sign him for a 3-4 year DP deal, and then we can't buy anybody for a decade. So I think I'm good off that, bro. I'm gonna be honest. But I mean, if we could get him onto this team somehow, if we could pull him into Miami and just be like, hey, under the table, here we go. You just take this little money. We'll put it on the books. Maybe we could do that. But
Is anyone here watching the Texans Steelers game while we're filming this?
no, I have
Because-
had it
not.
up and then I closed it.
Side tangent. When I turned off my phone, it was 7-6. The Texans are up 30-6 right now.
Yeah, it's over.
What?
Holy cow.
36?
Who predicted the perfect AFC bracket so far? Who?
Who you picked the Chargers, by the way. We
No,
we
I
went
didn't.
into our
No,
own-
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
No,
did.
I didn't.
I swear.
No, I
Can we get a
didn't. I
VAR?
had the
gotta go
Patriots
into the
Texans because
review
I have the Texans beating the Patriots next week, and then I have the Broncos Texans.
No,
AFC
but when
title.
we did at the very end, when we did our very own, I could have sworn you picked the Chargers.
no, run it
at
back,
the very
run
end,
it back, and then apologize.
let's see. We'll see on VAR
Yeah,
review.
run it
But
back.
yeah, I mean, to
Bro,
the
you
guy
guys
who
suck.
commented on our
Hey,
last TikTok.
end this conversation. End this conversation.
No, I got one thing to say.
Both
The guy
no
who
wait.
commented on our-
Both teams brackets will. Both of your guys' brackets will be put up now.
don't do it. No.
And
And
one
would you look at
one of
that?
the two of you looks like an idiot. Okay.
It's
What was your
not
final
me.
point?
To the guy that commented on our most recent TikTok, get owned. Okay?
Yeah,
Two random guys.
yeah. Why do we have
Can
haters
make a
already?
podcast.
TikTok is full of hate, and we need love. All of a sudden,
Yeah,
we're like,
we made a
"Oh, look at
post
this
saying the
piece of
Texans will
shit, by
dog
the way."
walk. We made a post saying the Texans will dog walk the Steelers. Also, / me saying I could see this one being close. And the guy goes, "This is why two random people shouldn't have a podcast." Meanwhile, the prediction was exactly right.
We sometimes know ball.
Sometimes.
Very
Don't look at the other
rarely.
predictions. Do
Ve-
not look at Niners. Eagles.
Very rarely.
Yeah,
Don't look at the other
Niners,
predictions.
Eagles. Nope.
Don't look at that. But if you just strictly look at our last prediction and that alone, perhaps potentially we know ball.
And the wheel is 0-1. We'll just shit on the wheel. The wheel is 0-1.
The wheel is. Oh, you know what? Every game basically was decided by that wheel this week, except for this last one. Every game just felt like it went down to the friggin' wire. Even the Rams in a hell game with the Panthers, and then this is such a. Honestly, that game pissed me off. The Panthers went up and then just played prevent. Did you guys watch the end of that game?
Yeah.
They went up and just played prevent all the way until the Rams got to the red zone, and then Stafford makes a great throw. And I'm like, cool, nice, yeah,
Nice. Typical.
Sick.
Typical.
nice. Yeah.
Well,
Tip,
I think it's safe to say that our TikTok predictions are on fire or on ice. And so,
Oh,
bad transition.
I see what you did.
Let's
there.
move. Let's end this episode off. Bringing back the on fire, the on ice. Fatty, let's go to you. Who's on
Cool.
fire in Seattle right now?
On fire. We haven't talked about them in a while because they haven't done anything. But my on fire right now is Mariners center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Not only is he projected to be in MVP talks in his age 25 season, this is the year he's supposed to put it all together, is what they say. Off the field, he's put himself above the rest. He invested $1.3 million with his No Limits Foundation and opened the first ever public AstroTurf baseball field in the Dominican Republic in his hometown of Loma de Cabrera. It's a town of about 20,000 people. And it was a great, awesome showing. The whole town was out there. We had Vlad, we had Victor, Juan Soto, Mariners legend Nelson Cruz there for the opening, Victor Robles. Did I already say that? Maybe I did. But yeah, it's just really cool to see athletes giving back to the communities that raised them. The Dominican Republic is obviously a huge pipeline of players who grew up in poverty and not able to afford, the niceties that are, American, Japanese travel ball teams. I mean, they're just crazy. But yeah, super cool for Julio giving back to his community, and good stuff for him.
Well, now let's transition into the complete polar opposite end of the spectrum. Who's on ice for you, Fatty?
On ice, it's unfortunate, but it's Jed Fish. Jed Fish kind of swung and missed at a lot of head coaching openings. We honestly thought he would dip to get that Michigan job. He didn't get the Michigan job. But the recent controversy really just paints him as a bad light, as a leader of the locker room, and to have your star player secure him. And guys, they were under the same agency. The guys who run Jed Fish's contract also negotiated Damon Williams' contract. Like, this should have been a slam dunk, but he was, he was kind of blindsided by Damon. Damon's not my on ice because I feel like Jed Fish welcomed him back with open arms. It shows that Damon is above the team right now. Don't want to paint any narratives because I know I'm not a Husky fan, but what it looks like is Damon has that special privilege. We kind of saw it with Pete and Russell Wilson back in the Seattle days, and I just think that he's going to have a lot to do to repair that culture in that Husky locker room before next season begins.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that we put enough puncture wounds in the Huskies for one episode.
True.
So I guess we can move over to Brody, who's totally not going to add more drama to the UW scene.
What? No.
Brody, who's on fire for you?
Fatty just gave very valid reasons as to why the Jed Fish, head coach of UW, is on ice, but not the whole Fish family is on ice, in my opinion. I think Jed Fish's wife is my fire. Okay?
Whoa!
What?
No reason.
Oh,
That's what I'm. No, I'm kidding. She's she's fire. Okay. No. Basically, but she commented on somebody's Instagram post. I think Damon's or UW's or something. Basically roasting Damon Williams for. Listen, I'm not one to judge anyone for their decisions, but basically doing this whole thing whilst there was sadly a memorial funeral for a UW athlete who passed away. That's kind of when all this took place, unfortunately. And she kind of roasted him for that.
Wow.
Find you a wife like Jed Fish. How about that?
Find me a wife like Jed Fish.
It also says on.
Wait, what?
Like Jed Fish's wife, like Amber Fish.
Moving on to the ice segment here, and I made this joke when I put him on here the first time that had this podcast been running for several years, he would have made several appearances. But this is now appearance number 2 for Craig Weibel. He is on my ice, and it's not even for the move itself. Like I said, low risk, somewhat medium to high reward potentially. He just loves a guy with an injury history, specifically long-term knee injuries. Of course, that Nikola Petrovic fellow that we signed has a massive knee injury that caused him to miss 154 days of action. And even the weird rumor with the dude from Ajax, that dude currently suffering through a long-term injury. So I'm not surprised if that rumor is real. And it's just another example of Craig Weibel having a type. I mean, if you have a massive injury, come to Seattle. We need you on this team.
Hey,
and
on the bright side too, Brody, adding to that, what goes great with repeated knee injuries?
What, just muscle
Playing
injuries?
all your home games on turf. It's a perfect formula. Perfect formula.
Perfect. Yeah. I just, Craig's on here for a second time, and I don't believe that will be. I guess maybe if he gets fired, then we won't hear much of him. But I suspect this is not going to be his last time here.
I think we're starting to see some characters that Brody does not prefer in the Seattle sports landscape.
Yeah.
But all right, J. Ross, close us out here. Who you got?
Bring in the closer, get the trumpets playing. I'll step up. My on fire is Matty Beniers. Quick side note. Commentator 2 games ago called him Matthew Beniers, and it made me uncomfortable. Matty Beniers, last 11 games before this Rangers games, 5 goals, 6 assists, which is only part of the story. He absolutely undressed the Vancouver goaltender in the shootout, and we're like, oh my gosh, Matty Beniers kind of has silky mitts, fellas. Like, he's kind of legit. Goes on the Hurricanes. Yes, we lost the game. Absolutely undresses the Hurricanes defense, puts the puck away. Matty Beniers
is a crazy adjective or verb to describe that.
He undressed their goalkeeper in the locker room after the game.
Okay,
is what I'm hearing.
I didn't mean to cut in, but that's a crazy verb. He undressed him.
Yes.
Is that a real hockey people say that?
Dude, he put him in he completely I don't even know how to
And now
describe
say
it.
it with an accent. Now say it with the hockey.
You know,
Canadian
he came down fucking the right flank. You know what I mean? Came in, undressed the attendee, and put it fucking top shelf. You know?
There we go. That was pretty good.
Ah,
Pretty good.
all right.
Not enough.
Nonetheless,
buzz, though.
Matty Beniers is on fire, boys. You know, absolute burning. Okay, we're done with that. Matty Beniers, you are on fire. I love you. You're amazing. Turn into a superstar. We're winning the Stanley Cup.
By the way, Matty Beniers post keep in our keep cut segment.
Yeah.
He wants
Some
to be
can say
kept.
that Carson Fatland is the reason why Matty Beniers is cooking.
Dude, I'm telling you, this podcast, I'm keeping this podcast afloat. We got guys on our podcast being like, I don't know why Brody's talking. I agree. I fucking agree.
My own friends, by the way.
I'm a passion merchant. My friends call me a passion merchant, by the way. My fans, I'm going to be JSN. Love my fans, Jacob Woodward. I'm a passion merchant. Sorry, I love sports, and I love the city. Sorry, go ahead. All right, wrap up.
Boys,
I want to hear this crazy story.
Buckle in. Okay, get some. We're doing story time, boys.
Yes, I'm excited for
My
this.
on ice is the Lumen Field Pro Shop. We're making this personal. You guys are getting a glimpse into my life.
Finally, somebody's gonna call them out, man.
Last Sounders game on November 3rd, checks notes. We are filming on January 12th. That's not going to focus in. Okay, kind of worked. I dropped off 2 Sounders jerseys for a buddy, right? Get Paulie Primetime on one, Chris Roldan on the other, call it a day. And I'm like, okay, you know, it's November 3rd. Like, you know, they're still in school, they're still in college. They'll have plenty of time for him to get her jersey, whatever. A couple weeks go by, I call him like, hey, what's up? Like, paid $90 to put plastic on the back of a shirt, and you guys haven't got it in 3 weeks. Like, what's up? They're like, oh, we're sorry on the numbers. Call back later. I call back a couple weeks later. We're mid-December at this point. I'm like, hey, I thought this would be back, you know, for Thanksgiving break. This thing ain't going to make it back for Christmas. Like, what's going on, fellas? They're like, oh, sorry, we're still waiting on numbers. I call back the other day. There's mention between. Ends up being 5 total calls. Apparently, they don't have the numbers and the lettering to put Paul Rothrock on the back of the Orca kit. Two and a half months later, you're telling me during Christmas, right after Paul Rothrock re-signing a contract, they don't have the names to put Rothrock on the back of a jersey?
That's great. By the way, real quick, the pro shop that had a whole entire gimmick being like, hey, we'll give you a Paul Rothrock jersey.
It is 2.5 months in, and I called actually, wait, time out. It keeps going. I called them yesterday, and they go, our manager won't be here until tomorrow. And I said, okay, give the manager my phone number. And I pulled the Karen card, boys.
You are Karening up.
I gave him my name and number. I said, have your manager call me after 3 p.m.
Do we have audio?
8:20. Didn't get a call, fellas. Did not get a call.
Oh boy.
So we are Rothrock-less for the last 2.5 months.
I mean, I'm
fast.
cool with that.
Side note: $88 to put 2 names in the back of kits. $88 to take 2.5 months to melt plastic on the back of a shirt.
Which probably cost them like 50 cents.
Yes.
So on ice is the Lumen Field Pro Shop.
And you're still renewing your season tickets. So it doesn't fucking matter.
Guys, we got the 5 p.m. game. Son of a bitch. No. We got
that's close to prime time.
Hey.
I mean, it's Saturday prime time.
They can still put the S and F in the top right corner, and it'll be kind of cool.
No, man. No.
Why do you want to?
Brody's buddy that has dinner
somehow
can't watch
lose,
it. Man.
If for some reason we lose, you want to be depressed for longer? Like
A
if
day?
we lost at 1,
A couple hours.
But
I want to
if
win.
we played at
and
1
get
and lost,
home.
you're depressed. You're depressed the whole rest of the day. At least if we lose in the evening, that's 4 whole hours of my life.
And then I have to sit on Sunday still and just be like, damn. But we're not
because then on
losing.
Sunday you watch other teams and you're like, Monday they won't talk about us, so it's fine. But it doesn't matter because we're gonna win.
So does that? I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll talk off camera about that. But
yeah.
Well,
I guess this has been a pretty chaotic way to end the episode, but boys, if you enjoyed this hour and 6 minutes of us yapping about everything, leave a like, subscribe. Boys, you know where you can find us. YouTube, Spotify as usual. The TikTok is starting to get really up. Brody has been grinding away on the TikToks. Give us a follow over there.
For
X
sure.
posts pretty regularly, and the Instagram is up, boys. Follow us everywhere. Boys, we will see you next week, but we have one more announcement. No more of this soft schedule. No more of us posting whenever we want to click post. We're a Wednesday show.
Wednesdays, turn your sound on. If you know what I'm saying, turn your sound on Wednesdays.
Oh, wait, I see what he did.
Nonetheless, boys, we will see you next Wednesday. Turn your sound on. We will see you guys later.